Look, by now you probably heard YouTube is the single greatest lead generating platform for real estate agents. 10,000 plus homes sold, multiple billions of dollars in sales. But that means the competitive landscape has become more difficult than ever. And therefore, if you want to get leads from a real estate YouTube channel, then you gotta follow these new 5 strategies that I've come up with. If you think you can go with some of the old ways, think again. In fact, I have coached over 1,000 real estate agents, and with this video today, I'm going to be going through the top 5 newest strategies that you must employ into your YouTube channel if you actually want to generate leads. Now, I've even got brand new agents coming in that are getting leads within the first few weeks, but that's only because they're following new strategies. Agents that have been going at this for 2-3 years now and sticking to their old ways, their channels are starting to nosedive. So if you want to be the most effective on YouTube, this is a strategy that costs you $0 and can completely change your real estate business. Then you're probably going to want to take note of all 5 of these strategies. So the first strategy that I want to talk about is something that I have actually done, and I didn't even know I was doing it early on, but now I won't even start a YouTube channel unless I discover the character. So I think not only for yourself, but if you're going to be shooting with somebody else, that you need to define characters. Now, let me give you a couple examples because this is going to help you throughout the rest of these strategies to perform at an optimal level. So characters that I've been able to adapt to, which took me a long time to figure out. One is being a newbie to an area. Actually, it's pretty common nowadays. Real estate's a very easy, well, it's not easy, nothing's easy in real estate, but a transition for people moving, relocating, especially if you've got a spouse who moves for work, you can pick up and do real estate. Well, the good thing about YouTube is it doesn't matter what market you're in or how new you are, you can actually be incredibly successful. In fact, myself, I've sold over 600 homes. I have traveled the country starting 13 YouTube channels, and not one of these markets, except for one of them, I have actually lived in for a long period of time. And one thing that always trips up real estate agents, and again, I've coached thousands of them, is I don't know enough information. I don't know the area very well. I don't know the numbers. I don't give a shit about the numbers. I don't care about the areas. I go in and I build my character, which is a dad who's moved there, who's relocated, who's got 3 kids, and I start telling you my perspective of the area and what I see. Because once you build or define your character, you start to resonate with people. And wait till you hear this next strategy. I promise you, you've never heard of it before. And this is what's going to really play into that. So a couple other characters, but not limited to. When I first started this, I tried to be the local, the know-it-all. It didn't work. So I became the guy who actually moved there and was new. But my partner, Jesse, he was the numbers guy. So early on when I would say, hey, Jesse, I need a video from you. Let's just talk about these areas. He would send me a video back, and it was miserable. It was about 1.5 minutes long. He was looking straight into the camera and he gave me absolutely no character, no information. It was all data and numbers. So this slowly turned into me going, okay, if I wanna get this done and he has all the information, I gotta get that out of him. So the one thing that you can really do is either start to go to Reddit pages, ChatGPT, Facebook groups, and you basically can start figuring out what are people who are moving, relocating there, what are the questions they are asking, and then you can answer those. Now, we took it a step further because once I started to fully understand Jesse's mindset, he knew every back road, every single street. There wasn't a section of Portland, Oregon he didn't know about. And if you told him to tell you about it on video, zilch, nada, nothing would come out. But I would say, hey, you just had a client who moved in, they were a family, they had 2 kids, and they were gonna go to a certain area, but they said no way, and they moved somewhere else. That's all I had to say, because while we were driving out there, guess what he told me? That amazing freaking story. And I know you sitting here watching this right now, you've got clients, past clients who have stories. You personally have stories. Those are what people actually want to hear. So as we progress through all 5 of these new strategies, you're probably going to overwhelmingly hear you need to figure out what the clients want. Stop talking about data and numbers. You have to get that out of your system. Now, as of recently, I moved to Houston, Texas, and I got another partner agent. This is somebody who can close deals. I am going to be the video guy, but He's very rough around the edges. This is a guy who can't shoot videos either. He actually came through my boot camp for the channel Junkies about 4.5, 5 years ago and never got a video going. So don't worry, over 97% of real estate agents who come through some of these programs never get off the ground either. And you might be saying, well, then that means your program sucks. Nope, it's made multi-millionaires. But that also means that it's very difficult to get started because all y'all are in your freaking heads all day, right? And I know you're looking at yourself going, yeah, that's me, right? But here's where the story gets interesting because I had to leverage him. I needed to make sure that all the phone calls came in went to him and not me. I ran into that issue one time, and I'm gonna talk about that later in this video and some of the massive issues of scaling and growing. But if I wasn't able to get all of these leads over to Joe, it was gonna cause a big headache for me. So at this point, Houston, Texas was my 8th YouTube channel across the country, and I had a well-devised plan on building a character. And the character is JoJo. That's right. JoJo. And do you realize that this YouTube channel alone, just in Houston, Texas, can get upwards of 300 leads a month? And guess what? 99% of those leads that come in say, hey JoJo, I love the channel. I'm coming into town. He is a celebrity. It's sticky. I have been able to make JoJo look fun. Sometimes he trips and falls on concrete, and I'm gonna keep that in the videos. I'm gonna build a character that is fun, that is easygoing, and people are gonna enjoy talking with. And I'm gonna call him a name that sticks. So typically I'm gonna find something with this person that I can make them stand out, and it's gonna be relatable with people. And you might be going, that makes it so much more difficult, Jackson. How the hell am I gonna just nickname somebody? It's really not, and I will tell you the truth that that is a talent that I have, is not only, shooting the videos, being on camera, but I have this crazy ability to listen to what people say or to hear how they are and get that out of them, right? Now, you might be going, well, that doesn't help me at all. Well, let me take it a step further, actually, on the next strategy, strategy 3. But before I get to that, let me give you a few more character ideas. One thing that I play heavily into is that I'm a father of 3 kids. I am 40, a big old juicy 40 burger, right? These are all things that you can say that immediately make you relatable to somebody. Now, I've seen moms out there. I've seen moms of autistic children. I've seen, newbies in area move, relocated. I've seen religious people. I've seen conservative people. I've seen left, right, you name it, and they speak that. So a lot of times the character is not something that you go very hardcore and over when it comes to real estate, but at the same time, some of these things naturally come out. And so when you start talking about being a father of 3 kids and looking at different suburbs in Houston, well, I already know deep down, that's probably 70-80% of my buyer pool that's coming in here. So I'm speaking directly to them now. More on that here in a minute. So number 3 strategy is gonna be your tone. Yeah, check your tone at the door, bro. We're gonna talk about your tone, why I think this is one of the most important, and then we're actually gonna get into video structure, which is really the most crucial aspect of YouTube now, because back when we started, we could basically just throw out any 4, 5, 6 minute video and we were gonna rank number 1 and we were gonna get a lot of views and, more importantly, a ton of phone calls. But that doesn't work anymore. So if your strategy is not up to date, then you ain't up to date, homie. But let's go with strategy number 3, which is your tone. The number one thing that we always hear in all of our text messages, in our Facebook messages, in the phone calls, in the however they want to get a hold of us is, man, I am just like you. You guys are just so fun. You guys are just so cool. Now, I do realize that there's probably people who don't take me serious. In fact, I've seen the comments on my channel before that say, Jackson, you're wearing a t-shirt. You're not very serious. You're not very professional. Don't give a shit, bro. I am who I am, right? And so when we understand that our tone, the way that we speak, the way that we carry ourselves is a direct reflection of the exact consumer that we want to attract, that's when you get your ideal clients. That's actually when you get these people that, well, it's almost scary how much they're obsessed to work with you, right? I've seen it hundreds and hundreds of times now, fortunately, so I'm a little bit more numb to it. But just like the hundreds and hundreds of other real estate agents that have come through our coaching program or our courses who get those first few leads, it's always the best feeling in the world. Oh my gosh, I saw your YouTube channel. I can't believe I'm actually talking to you. I'm moving to the area. I've got a $900,000 budget. And yes, this is one of them, actually one of our students right here. This is a text message from Oscar who reached out to the agent. I'm not gonna give the agent's name or channel number because I don't like to ruin their channels. But could you tell me your total budget and have you been to Okeechobee? $900,000. We're a little fuzzy there. maybe a little bit more if I like the property. Okay, I'll check later now, but I'm in the hospital working, but I'll check at home. Thank you, Sean. Just curious, Oscar, did you see me on YouTube? Yes, right? So this is an agent that just came through a program. This is a message that came in today to his phone. This is his third. He just started his channel, and he actually thinks it's spam because he's never worked a $900,000 deal before. And in fact, crazy statistic, we have found that your sales point, so if you're selling homes that are in that $400,000 to $500,000 price point, on average, your price point will go up by 50%. So if you're selling homes that are in that $400,000 price range, your actual sales price is gonna go up to about $600,000. Yes, these are people moving, relocating, top of their careers, and it's an amazing lead source. But one of the things that he has going for him right away is that he just moved to that area. Now, he has another secret weapon. I'm not gonna give it away. That's in our coaching program that actually separated him from his entire market. So he's generating leads at a crazy, crazy pace because he's doing this one thing, and I ain't gonna give it away because, well, I don't want to ruin it for him. So anyways, let's get back to tone. So the tone can be basically you being who you are again. Now, we're covering this a lot, and it's very important. And I think the way that YouTube is going more than anything is there is so many real estate agents out there doing this that you got to separate yourself. So you're gonna hear me a lot of times in my videos just delivering videos and structures and questions the way that I say them. I am gonna say, homie, I am gonna stay, I got kiddos, and I'll see a big skywalk up on a house and I'll be like, oh man, I can only imagine my 3 kids running through there and I am blasting their little butts with Nerf darts, right? So I say a lot of these things because I know that I'm hitting that family demographic that I want to work with. And in fact, as of recently, I even started checking mini crawl spaces and going up in attics. And I do it completely vlog style. Give me that thing. I'm going up.
You're going up?
Okay, that's impressive. I love the spray foam installation. So that means it's gonna be ice cold up here. Check it. So we have that. Super efficient. Your energy bills, I'm telling you guys, is going to cut down massively. My wife always says, you know, winter clothes, like that you don't wear as much, but suitcases. Yeah, these are things that I'm putting in my videos more often than not because it's actually different from everybody else. So as my competition leans more into the data, the numbers, and being this realtor, top real estate agent, I'm just being somebody that they can relate with. And so I have started to take even more time going through a house, looking into cabinets, talking about certain cities, suburbs, parks. I'll even go down slides. I will literally tell you everything I am feeling about that property, about that area, about that suburb, or I've even done top 10 things that I can't stand about living in Houston, Texas. And different from you and every other realtor, I vlogged it. I actually showed that my backyard floods. I show how hot it is. I show massive bugs. And one more thing, I even brought my wife into the freaking video and I'm like, yo, shawty, what is it like being a woman here? She talked about how don't put perishables in your car, it gets so freaking hot. So your makeups, your lipstick, it'll melt all over the place. She gets hit by mosquitoes, guys, and I ain't kidding you. It's like she played goalie for a dart team. She goes outside for like 5 seconds and it's nothing but mosquito bites. I can go out there all day and maybe get 1 or 2. So those are things that we talked about, but also remedies to get over it. You're gonna move here, you're gonna live here, you gotta live with it, right? So I think as more people get very scared and tight with their videos, they lose all of their tone and they just wanna sound perfect. They wanna paint this perfect picture and it couldn't be farther from the truth. So the more that we lean into our character and we speak the way we speak, again, going left, going right, going up, going down, you know what I mean, that's what's going to attract more clients. Now, I think I already said 3, but this is actually number 3, and we're gonna talk about the workflow of a video. So I'm gonna label number 3 as work backwards. If you were to spend a day shooting videos with me, you would see one thing and one thing only. But before I get to that, I wanted to make a special announcement. All of you out there most likely already know that we have the most highly regarded coaching program when it comes to YouTube for real estate. And I wanted to make something very clear. We are broker agnostic. We have agents from dozens of different brokerages, so we do not care what brokerage you're at. We can coach you up. So if you're interested in high level coaching, this is where we actually go through your channel on a weekly basis. We monitor your videos. We actually study your videos. We can bring them up. This is where people are seeing that optimal growth. Then just shoot me an email, info jacksonwilkie.com. I will set you up with a free strategy call to see how we can help you best. And again, it doesn't matter what brokerage you're at, homie. So shoot me that email. But let's get back to the video. That one thing that I'm always going to do is work backwards. So if you actually took the chip, let me grab one right here, out of my camera, and you were to plug this into your computer, you would see one thing. The very first clip that shows up on there is not the clip that starts the video. In fact, it might be one of the last clips on the video. So what you will see is if you go to the very last clip on the bottom, that's most likely gonna be my intro or the pictures for my thumbnail. So I'm never gonna shoot a video where I just show up and I start talking. That's even in my hometown of North Idaho, where I'm born and raised, and I know every street and I know every road and I know every house and I know everybody. I'm still gonna shoot that video backwards. Again, this is something I learned after doing thousands and thousands of videos all across the country, was that by the time I shot an intro and did the beginning of the video, by the end of it, it was so different from what I said at the beginning that it didn't make sense. And again, remember, things are getting more competitive. So I'm gonna show up to wherever I'm shooting. I am gonna go through every single property, or I'm gonna walk to downtown. I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna go to the parks. I'm gonna go to all these different areas, and I wanna see it first, and I'm gonna drive it. That way I can get a feel for it. I can tell stories. And while I'm doing that, I'm typically with my real estate partner. I'm gonna go, why are people moving here? Have you helped anybody move here? Is there a reason people avoid this area? Is there a reason why people choose this area over other areas? Once I get all that relevant information, which is gonna be very important to my number 4 coming up next, then I basically have all of my ammunition to get people to continue watching my videos. So we're gonna also talk about the number 1 strategy that you have to have on your YouTube channel at the end. But if I can get those stories and those insights from the real estate agent, which are basically stories that they got from their clients or their family or their friends or themselves, I can portray that on the video. But what I'm gonna do is film that entire video, right, after seeing everything, and then I'm gonna shoot my intro, because I can actually hook them harder. Now, I'm not gonna go into how I hook. That's gonna be at the end of this video. And actually, we work on those hooks in our coaching program because it is so pertinent to your video structure. But we're gonna give you a little bit of insight, and I might even give you some at the end of this video, so stay tuned to that. But I will tell you that if you just show up and you start shooting front to back, those are the videos, because I've studied hundreds of them and we bring them up on our weekly coaching calls, that usually the chart typically goes straight down to the bottom. They just don't have a lot of purpose, and you're not able to re-hook people throughout the video to get those nice steady lines all the way to the very end. And lastly, I think one thing that really helps me is if I work backwards, I'm typically going to be a little bit more myself. I'm gonna have better tone because I kind of know which direction we're going with the video. I know what we're gonna see next. And so it kind of calms me down, relaxes me, instead of me always like trying to think, okay, what are we showing next? It's all a big surprise to me. So I think you're gonna have a lot more success if you go there and you kind of figure out, okay, this is the best part of the video. I can even film it right now if I want and just say, all right, we're here at the very end of the video, and we'll shoot that and then we'll go to the front. But you can do it however you want. But by working backwards, by figuring out what's gonna be in the entire chunk of the video, that helps you to put the most relevant information at the end and give you the best intro at the beginning to get people to the end. Gotta hook them here to get them here. Strategy number 4, hey, you gotta put yourself into your client's shoes. This is so important. Again, think about this 1 second. I just want to slow down, okay? I want you to actually take a second and think about, okay, if I had to move right now across the country, like in the next 30 days, I have husband, I have wife, I have kids, I have dogs, or maybe you're just a single person, whatever. That's a little bit of an easier decision, but still at the end of the day, you're gonna do one thing. You're gonna try and figure out the best area for you to live. Now, put yourself in their shoes. Do you want me to tell you exactly what I was thinking when I was moving to Houston? I'm a dad, I got a family, I got young kids who are gonna be going through a school system. I love to golf, and when I'm golfing, I drink some brewskis, so I like to have a golf cart at my house and be able to drive onto the golf course, and I wouldn't mind being close to a lake. So I'm trying to find the best area for my family. So when I called Mr. JoJo Man and I said, hey, have you started that YouTube channel yet? He said, no, I went through the course, but I'm never gonna shoot these videos. Just like everybody else, I said, well, good luck for you because I'm coming to town. I'll shoot the videos, you just close them. But in the meantime, you gotta help me figure out where to live because I don't know anything about Houston, right? So we went onto this Zoom call for an hour. I'm like, I like this, I like that. I didn't give a shit about a 3-bed house, a 4-bed house, nothing, nada, zilch. I'm trying to find, hey, where is a great area to raise kids? Okay, that narrows it down to about 10 of the top suburbs, right? So that doesn't really narrow it down, but what are these things that really fit you? For me personally, I come from the Northwest, so I was like, look, I have been there before, and we went out to the west side of Houston, Katy, Texas, which is like the can't miss best area. But there's no damn trees out there. It's so flat. Like I could never live out there. He goes, yeah, you don't want that. And if you want the trees, then you got to be up in this northeast section. That is where the best and hottest suburbs are. If you go straight to the east, people don't like living there. You go down to the southeast, that is not your style of living. And the south is going to be a whole different bearcat. So the northeast section is where you're going to like it the most, and they have lakes there. They got a ton of golf courses. You're going to see huge trees, and they actually have trails that go through these suburbs that connect everybody's houses. And I'm like, dude, this is a dream. My kids can actually ride bikes. Do you guys see that, right? A video of you telling me that the median price point in Kingwood, Texas is $432. That doesn't give me anything. I'm literally going to click off your video, and if I see you, I might smack you because you gave me nothing. So the best example I can give of this, because now I play the role of I just moved here too. I think that's honestly one of the, if you are new to a market, you are miles ahead of the local real estate agent. I'm telling you right now, you've got to start documenting your stories about moving there. You got to start documenting your stories of going into an area. Do you realize how many times on videos that I actually go, I've never been here before, but I could totally see my family living here. Guess what? Ring, 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 lead, 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 lead. They don't care how long I've been here. I am connecting with them way better than the local realtor. Now, on the flip side of that, I'm born and raised in North Idaho. I know every street, every section, every person. So I played that role. I put that hat on, and I was so freaking to the street, to the number. And I'm not talking about median home sales. I'm talking about like addresses. Like I know that house, I know that house, I know that house. I've been in this street. If you tell me 2, 3 things you like, you don't like, I can pinpoint the exact spot that would fit you. In fact, I've probably been in the house that would fit you most. So just reach out to me. I went so detailed on the maps. I would break down maps for 20, 30, 45 minutes. I would get average view durations of over 24 minutes on those. So yes, I have actually done it. I have walked the walk and talked the talk. I know what people want to hear, whether you are a local or you are somebody who just moved there. But until we can play into the arms of the clients, you will never attract anybody. Trust me, I've seen people shoot 100 videos and get 0 leads because they try to do the easy way. Well, I can just read all these stats, data, and number. This town was founded in 1793. Cool. Where do I want to live with my family, with my kiddos, right? And then you got some guy who just cranks a video and he's like, dude, you're going to dig it. They got golf courses, they got trees, they got everything, and I'll help you find a house, man. I know the deals. I'm like, cool, you're my guy, right? And that's my kind of realtor. So the other aspect of this that I'm going to do, again, if I don't know the area very well, this is something that you can do, is you can take your client's story. So a lot of times, so I travel to a city, I fly in, and in 2 days I usually shoot, well nowadays the videos are longer, but I shoot about 8 to 10 videos. I used to do 20 of them, and I could do it on an area I'd never been to. So I'd fly into this area. I never lived there a day in my life. I never even vacationed there. And in 2 days, I could shoot 20 videos. And I did it with this strategy. I would ask that agent, I would ask him exactly these questions. Who's moving here? Why are they moving here? What's new around here? Why are they choosing this area over other areas? Why would they not like this area? Are there any new roads? Are there any new Costco's? What's coming to this area? And dude, oh my gosh, they would go crazy. And they would tell me all these clients moved there and this and that. Just fill me up with information. I'd be like, all right, pull over. Pff, they put it in park. I bust out and I'm just ripping for 5-10 minutes, just telling all these stories that they can't get off onto the camera. So with that being said, leverage your client stories. Never do a YouTube video again where you're talking data, numbers, strategies, that kind of stuff. It's very boring. Now, if you are talking to an older generation, 60s, 70s, 80s, they may actually be looking for data in numbers because they want to make that final purchase decision, right? or it's going to be somebody who's wealthier buying a second, third, fourth home. So that's going to be a totally different strategies we cover in our coaching program. But for the most part, it's all right here. People are moving, relocating for jobs, just for different lifestyle, and they got to find that area that fits them best. So leverage client stories, leverage your story, leverage your friend's story, leverage stories, and that is so important. Strategy number 5 is the hook. Oh my goodness. Now we work on these hooks all day long, and not only is it the hook at the beginning of the video, but you've got to continuously rehook your audience and keep them on there. So we have found lately that if you can extend these video times out 20, 30, 40, 50, even 60 or 70 minutes long, we're having more success. But if you shoot an hour-long video and nobody watches it for any longer than 2 minutes, it's going to perform awful. So in order to keep an hour-long video and keep people's attention, you have to rehook and rehook and rehook. It's very similar to what I've done in this video if you're still watching me. But there's no way in the next few minutes I can teach you how to rehook. So what I'm going to be doing, and you might be pissed off, but I don't really care. I'd rather give you a solid video teaching it. On next week's video, I'm going to have an entire section on how to hook, how to rehook. I will break down the analytics. I will show my rehooks, and it's going to make you a way better YouTuber. So if you haven't yet, hit that like button if you enjoyed this video and you want to see the next one. And remember, anybody, I don't care what brokerage you're at, if you want to join our high-level YouTube coaching program, it is getting very busy. We do it on an interview basis to make sure you're a fit for us and we're a fit for you. Shoot me that email, info@jacksonwilkie.com. I did an entire series that's probably a $200,000 coaching program. It's all for free. So if you want to dominate your market on YouTube, I guarantee you will never find anything more valuable than this. And if you do, show me and prove it. But I already know you won't.